Welcome everybody. Let me turn off this fodder. There we go. Now I don't have to hear that thing buzzing. What I'm doing today is pretty crappy out. I've started laying out the stencils that I'm going to use. Had a faux pas happen last night. I took my monocoat gun and wanted to dry something. I put a small dent right there. I don't know whether I'm going to fix it or not. It's so minuscule. I don't know. Anyway, this is the this goes on the side of the fuselage, 23. And then of course we have the big 23 on the outboard wingtip. This might be a little more difficult than I would have thought, but all good things come to those who work hard at it, so I guess that's what we're going to do. I apologize yesterday for trying to show the video of us painting, but not being able to show you painting because of the plastic. But we had to put the plastic up to keep the overspray off everything in the garage. And of course, you know, the thing didn't want to cooperate, the internet. So before I get too far along on this paint job, there are some spots that I'm gonna fix. So, I mean, how much can a guy do? I mean, I put it all together. It weighs 58¼ ounces. You know there's going to be at least 2 ounces of clear on it. That's 60 ounces. I got to figure out how to get off 2 ounces. Of course, it could gas off a little, but I don't think it's going to gas off 2 ounces. So, looks like I missed my target weight. Unless changing out the spinner to the Meslick and changing the tank from the 8-ounce tank to the 6-ounce tank loses a little weight. You know, I don't know. I might have to look into maybe going back to these wheels. You just I kind of got to get the weight off wherever I can. So, this airplane's about coming to an end. It's, I don't know how long the project's been going on, but quite a while. Hopefully I'll have my new order of wood here shortly so I can get back to build another idea I have. Of course, I got to finish up my Continental XL and my Raid Bearcat. There's a lot of projects to do. I will never be able to die. I have too many things to build. Well, let's see here. The cutter ground for probably, I don't know, 2 hours this morning. So now it's in the detail, go around and clean up all the, there's a couple faux pas that I want to get fixed, like around the, I'll show you on the lead out area. I wanted to keep the paint off the lead out wire, so I taped them, and when I moved the tape stuck into the paint on the tip, but it's not a big deal because dope, as John said yesterday, is super forgiving. You can fix it, go right over it, whereas enamels are not. If you, let's say you have a Rust-Oleum airplane, you have to hardline fix those. You can't just spray a spot, because then you'll have an overspray haze. Whereas dope, you don't, because you can spray that spot and rub it out. The overspray right off. So if you're an up-and-coming model builder, dope is by far the easiest medium to work with. Probably not the safest, you know, it is toxic and it does stink. And it is pretty expensive, but it's very friendly. I don't know that I want to sand the whole airplane before I lay out those stencils or not. I know there are some places that I need to address, like I'm doing here. And it's raining out now, and all I have here is a small airbrush and a compressor, but which would probably work for these little areas that I'm looking to fix. But I think I will probably address that over the 4-day weekend. Oh, I gotta scrape off the paint off this horn. This airplane came out really nice, really nice. But it should have, with all the sanding I did on it. But I think it's going to get another sanding before the clear and before the trim. It can't hurt. Maybe I can sand 2 ounces off of it. And Craig, I know you're watching. I did not delete your post. I moved your post. You wanted it moved to open forum, so I moved it to open forum. And I appreciate the input. You know, I really feel bad that I can't ship overseas or whatever. It's just such a hassle with customs, and there's no way for me to get to the post office, so it's just very difficult. And I wish I could give everybody on the forum a kit, but I can't. So I can only do what I can do. I am by no means rich or making any money. I'm losing. But I do this for the love of the hobby. I do have, of late, seeing how I've structured the forum, you know, I do have help moderating it. But I spent some 14,000 hours setting that up. Now, who would do that for nothing? Not many. The faux pas I had yesterday is, if you look here, I mean, it's not a big deal. This one needs to be shot anyway. I dropped this flap after it got paint on it, so there's some buggers on it. So it'll get shot again. And all these leading edges of these flaps need another coat, so I just can't get too far into it. I mean, like I say, I'm right on the edge of we'll see where it is. I mean, it's at 58, that's my target weight. I should stop right now, but it's got to have some clear on it, so we'll see what happens. The reason why I didn't make the target weight is this is my third choice wood. We ordered a big pile of wood, and I took my first choice wood and I built my Junar, and then the second choice went into the Tucker, the small one, and the third choice wood went into this, and now I'm on fourth and fifth choice wood, so I'm waiting for another load. Put the wood back in order and get some more first choice wood. And I don't care what anybody says, you can't build light airplanes unless you have light wood. Uh-oh, looks like we got a receiving enough stream data again. Is the video coming through okay? The audio? Stupid YouTube, I'm so sick of them. Let me know in the chat box. Can you guys hear me okay? My screen says there's not enough video. I'm getting these error reports again. Okay, that's good. I don't know what's up with YouTube, why it does that. I don't know that you can see what I'm doing here, but I'll pull this over and show you, or try. If you look right there, that's an eyelet. And the reason for that eyelet is there's no fillet between the flap and the fuselage, so it has to come out of the fuselage in you know, in a hole. So this is the first time I've tried this, but I thought it would probably look better if it came out of the fuselage in a bearing instead of just coming out and sticking out in the wood. So now I'm scraping the paint off, getting it back down to the brass color, and we'll stick it back in there, and I'll CA it in there, and we'll use some thick set CA so it doesn't wick down into the bearing, because that would be a catastrophe. Or maybe I'll use epoxy. That'd probably be better. Use epoxy. Building one of my Thunderbolts, I don't remember if there was 1, 2, or 3. Maybe, no, it was, I built 5 of them. but I think it was the first 3. Buddy of mine was over the house and helping me set it up, and he wicked C8 into the flat bearing and locked the horns up. Man, I was pissed. But you know what? He got it undone, so I mean, no loss. Okay, now let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I think epoxy would probably be better, so it doesn't. Anyway, so that's what that looks like. Right there. So that's an idea for somebody. I mean, I don't mind sharing those ideas, because who knows how good it's going to work. But it needs to be all done and glued on there before the clear goes on, because the clear will seal it on there, if that makes sense. And then you just pick off the clear off the horn, just like I did the white. Today's a laundry day, so I'm not going to be on long this morning. If I come back later on in the afternoon, you know, we'll do something. Morning, looks like you're shooting. Yeah, for a sponsor. Yeah, I don't think that Dr. Pepper is going to sponsor me, but I like Dr. Pepper. We'll give him some free advertising. This is an air racer, so if you know anything about Dr. Pepper, it says instead of Stunt Hangar on the can, it says blended with 23 flavors. But we're going to put Stunt Hangar on there, and they'll have to deal with it. And I might put established. What year did I start Stunt Hangar? We've been around since, I think, 2001. Somewhere in there. If you look at my high roller there, up on the wall, there's a Motel 6 insignia, Wix Aircraft, and Shell. Well, I use Shell gas. Wix Aircraft is a sponsor. Stunt Hangar obviously is a sponsor. And Motel 6 is where that airplane was built, in the motel room. So Motel 6 kind of did sponsor that. Yeah, we got good audio, so you guys like the audio that I got going now better than through the camera? Everything is a pain in the butt. I need to find a different kind of. This is a webcam. Like you can. Thank you, Greg. This is a webcam that you can buy at any computer store, Best Buy, whatever. and it's not, doesn't yield professional results. So I need to get something that I can focus, white balance, zoom. The biggest thing with this video making is that I'm just lazy. I don't want to spend, you know, it's hard enough for me to, like when I go to the contest, you got to drive to the contest, buy the motel room, pay the entry fee, shoot the video. Remember, I'm flying. I got zero help. I'm flying, so I got to fly the contest, shoot the video, come back, spend 2 hours editing it, and an hour uploading it. You know, it's for nothing. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible on myself, and that's why these live streams, I do more live streams anymore than edited video. Before, when my channel was new, I didn't have the capability to stream video, so I had to shoot. I had 2 cameras that I shot video and synced with my Zoom recorder. So I had to teach myself how to use the editing software. I don't know. It's all in desire, I guess. Like this morning, I spent 2 hours on laying out, and I still can't figure out how to do the checkerboards I want right here. I'm gonna have to work on that. That'll take a couple of hours. You know, some kid, and I know exactly who I'm thinking of. Some kid could do what I want in about 2 or 3 minutes because he knows these, you know, knows the program. I can't get it done. It might take me 2 hours. Figure out how to do it, because you got to go look up how to, and then watch the video, and then try to follow along. It's just a pain in the butt. But a guy who's went to school to do this can do it like second, or any 12-year-old can do it like second nature. That's why this boat counting business they got going on. Why didn't they hire a 12-year-old gamer? He could have put up webcams at every table, and they could have overseen everything all at once in live time. Such BS. And we basically know why, but they got busted. Okay, I think about got it here. Don't need an MIT graduate to figure out how to do that, because any kid who plays games on the internet could have done it. Would have been happy to do it for $100, not thousands. Okay. I got lucky, it didn't come out with any pinholes. I do have a couple screw-ups I need to fix. I'll show you right now what I'm talking about, and it's really minor. Yeah, I know, Greg. It's just a pain. Yeah. Okay. So one of the snafus that happened, I can't get out of here. No room. Got myself locked in here. One of the snafus that happens was right here. You see that little spot right there? That's where the tape that was on these lead outs pulled up and put that mark on there. But because it's dope, it's not a big deal. We'll just take a piece of sandpaper. I could either brush that or airbrush it. I'll probably airbrush it. So let's smooth that out. I'll airbrush that and put it in right there, I guess. That is the lightest adjustable lead out system you can make. The slider's a lot of plywood and screws and stuff. Two little thimbles there seem to work pretty good. I've shown how to make those in previous videos. Yeah, they're scrambling all right. They're busted. So what I want to do here, do I want to glue them in now or not? I guess we can glue them in and get a little online humiliation. See what happens if the horn gets glued stuck. So I need this and the 5-minute epoxy. Which I know I have here somewhere. There's the epoxy. Oh, it's in that. Every time I put stuff away, I can never find it. $5 I got 5 minutes in the car too, anyway. At least I unloaded a gallon of thinner over John's yesterday, so that's good. Now I only got about 8 gallons of fuel and 1 gallon of thinner in the car. So we're back to this one-shot business again. You got one shot to do this. You can't monkey around. Yeah, they didn't want to. You know, if they were thinking about safety, keep people away, well, we got technology. You could have done it with a phone. I don't have any toothpicks. Why don't I have any toothpicks? Or do I? I do. Yay! Yep, too much sense. We can't have common sense. Common sense ain't so common anymore. One time I was asked how I make epoxylite flow so easy. And I said, well, I'm going to say this and give a caveat. So if you guys do this, it's on you. It ain't on me. I put it in the microwave and I heat it up. It becomes very pliable. But know this, when it comes out of the microwave, it's very hot. And the guy got burnt. God, I thought I was in deep doo-doo. He was going to sue me because he got burnt. Common sense, when something comes out of the oven, it's probably pretty hot. Then I'll take some dry slide motorcycle cable lubricant I have at home, which is graphite. So it's not like an oil that's gonna collect any dust. I'll take that dry slide and I'll put it on these bearings. Of course, on my hinge bearings too. This was a good idea. At least so far it's been a good idea. We don't know yet until these are dry. Well, I'm ex-military, and I have faith in our system. At least I hope so. Come on now. Okay, they're both glued in there. Wait a couple minutes and put the flaps on. I'm not gonna glue the flaps on yet because even though these flaps were shot in the hidden areas, they could use a little more paint on the leading edge. So I will do that. So you guys think that when the airplane's painted, the work is over, but it's not. It's just beginning, like I said yesterday. There'll be many hours of tinkering to get this thing ready to go, if you want a nice airplane. Not to say that you couldn't just take this airplane, glue the flaps on it, and go fly it. You could. But you have 400 hours in a project. Why would you want to cram it so fast? So here, if you look right here, there's a little piece of tissue or something. I'm going to sand that up. Would anybody see that? Probably not. But I know it's there. It's kind of like the inside of my cow. Who's going to see that? Nobody. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Super chats help. Like I say, we're down 124% from last month. Not good. And the thing about YouTube is they can jerk me off anytime they want if I'm not making them any money. But I am looking for alternatives. Yeah, I'm probably going to fix that little dent that I put in it. Couldn't believe that thing dropped off there. Stupid thing. Let's see, is this epoxy dry yet? Could be rubbery. That's nice. Now, I glued it in there. It's not quite sealed around the perimeter, but when I shoot clear on that, it will be. And you won't be able to see the clear because it's clear. So that'll look 100% finished inside there. Let's see, it's almost 12. I need to go do laundry. That'll take a couple hours. Like here, you can't see it, but I can feel it. There's a rough spot. I gotta get that off. So that'll get repainted. Now that looks finished. That looks really good. So I would recommend doing that to anybody that's going to build an airplane like this where you don't have a fillet to hide where the... Let's see here. Hey, thank you. Now wait, let's see. That would go with the live flow. I don't understand. Let me see if I can, okay. Greg was a Air Force crew chief during Vietnam. Well, I was an AMS at that time. Let me see here. Gotta have my mouse so I can see what I'm doing. Where the hell did it go? Oh, it's over there. This apartment's just too damn small. And even though it's small, it's always on the other side of the room, then I got an obstacle to try to get around. Yeah. Okay, let's see what he says here. I put some Vaseline on the swivel part of the hinge first to keep it from sticking. No, I didn't. And no sticking, so that's good. Yeah, Germany counted the boats. Hope is all we have. Well, we have a little more than that. Air Force crew chief during Vietnam. Props to you, man. Thanks for your service, buddy. Well, you go with the live flow and put Biden 2020 on there. Oh yeah, that would never fly. Two-way down with BS, absolutely. Yeah, not gonna fly with me. What do you guys think? Does it look like a Tucker? I think it looks exactly like a Tucker. Remember, it's just the same airplane with a different dress on it. Let's see here. I think I got different portions. I have, this is a different cockpit that's on, or canopy that's on this, but I need to pull this up a little bit. I'll have to set it on top of the airplane. They look pretty similar to me, except one's about 25 or 30% bigger. $20 ounces difference, and that most of that's in the engine. Looks like I want to fly it. Yeah, well, I want to fly it too, but it won't see the light of day till next year, unless there's an extremely good day. We have had in St. Louis some days that were 80, 85 degrees in December. So, I mean, that's a possibility. This airplane won't have any gold on it. I'll never paint gold on another airplane, ever, period. Terrible. Never paint gold. And if you're going to do gold leaf, I mean, possible to do gold leaf, but it's pretty hard. You know, like I said, I did that. I showed how to do that with the dope sizing. Of course, I don't know, the sign painter says it won't hurt it. The sizing, lacquer won't hurt the sizing, but I just can't see that. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Been on 45 minutes. I'm going to go do laundry. When we come back, I'm going to resume work. If you'd like me to stream the resumption of the work, I'll be more than happy to, but it's rather boring. I don't, you know, you'll be able to see my thought process on what I'm going to do. This is going to have my customary scallops on the nose. I haven't, like this one here. I'm going to do the scallops on the nose similar to that, a little different because it's a Dr. Pepper airplane, but I got to have my trademark on there. I have a couple airplanes that don't have it that I've built. The last two that I built don't have that, so I want to put that back on there. What gauge copper wire? Well, it doesn't say. Super fine. Let's see how many. I got a set of calipers. I can tell you how thick it is. Well, I had a set of calipers. Now they're gone. Where the heck did they go? Oh, there they are. Now they're not in the box. Of course not. Come on. I know I got calipers here. I gotta get a little more organized. It's very fine wire. You know, I'd say it's probably only 10 thousandths, but well, sorry guy, until I find my calipers, which I can't seem to locate. And the calipers wouldn't really give you a super accurate reading, but just real fine. Hey RC, thanks for the super chat. That helps out the channel position. The copper wire, I would say, is anywhere between I don't know, 7 to 10 thousandths thick. So whatever gauge that would be. Pretty fine stuff. I showed how to wrap those lead outs too. If you go on Stunt Hangar and go to lead machine down in the vendor section, they'll sell you the copper wire or the line wrapping jig. What the heck happened to my calipers? Boy, that really aggravates me now. I'm going to lose a little weight when I go to this spinner. This is a Medusa spinner, so this one's a little bit heavier, about 3/4 of an ounce. This is 1/2 ounce. By all means, stream. Okay. I wish I didn't have to do laundry, but it's one of them things that if I don't do, I won't have any clothes for work. Because everything I got's dirty. Yeah, I think it needs another sanding. 2000 grit over the whole thing before I lay out the trim. I might as well go ahead and fix this spot while I'm at it. It's such an aggravation. What happened was I was trying to get out a little wrinkle out of the silk span. So I took my monocoque gun like this and I was waving it back and forth, and this stupid thing fell off and hit right next to the fillet and left a little tiny dent. You know, most guys wouldn't worry about it. It's 1/8 of an inch wide, but it's just aggravating. It's on the outboard side, on the top, of course. Just like when I dropped this flap. Couldn't drop on the bottom. Of course it had to drop on the outboard side, on the top. Is it necessary to have a base coat of white or some other base color? If you've been following along with my finishing series on this airplane, you'll know that this airplane only has 2 coats of white paint on it. When I started painting yesterday, there was no paint, no white paint on it, even though it looked white. It was clear with a teaspoon of white dope in the clear. So right from the base wood, you're bringing it up to white. So what you need to do is start out with the bare wood, and the first coat's of clear you put it, don't put clear on it, put tinted clear on it. So you got 1 teaspoon of white paint and 1/4 of clear, and it just starts bringing it up. It'll get wider and wider and wider until you're ready to shoot the color, and then it takes half the color because it's already white. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of had a problem yesterday, because I had some green spots on it. It covered the primer spots pretty good, but it wouldn't cover the green spots. So I had to go over like 3 times to get those green spots to go away. I should have primered those green spots to make them kind of a dull gray, because that green, tough to cover. But it's going to get a little spot of green right there on top. We'll just take a razor blade and trowel it in there and sand and finish that off. The spot, I swear, most guys would not bother with it, but it just bothers me, so I got to get it off. I'm pretty happy with how it's coming along so far. It probably will be a front row airplane, at least an 18, but more than likely 19. It'll have every bit of the finish my Monado has on it. And this one is super nice. The problem with it is design. Even though I did some modifications to it, and it improved the flight characteristics. This airplane's light, it's 58 ounces, but it's too damn long. So it has a super long nose and a super long tail, so it doesn't have the characteristics that I like. It has, I mean, somebody could make it work, I'm sure, but I'm just not going to mess with it. Maybe I'll take the wheels off this and put it on that one. These are pretty nice wheels. And this one doesn't get to see. I did fly it this summer. I flew it probably, well, maybe it was last summer. I flew it probably 10 or 15 flights to try to, if you remember on some of my prior videos, I took the elevators and doubled the cord on the elevators to try to get it to turn better. And I probably could add tail weight, but that's against my religion. So it's just a piece of art for me right now. It looks red and orange are the best covering colors. This airplane is Miss Ashley red, and it's one coat. And if you hold it up to the light, you can see right through the wing. It's one coat. So basically what I've done is I went back old school. Shorten the airplanes up, lighten the airplanes up. Try to get away from, of course I'm building another one for that PA-75. All that concentrated weight in the nose gives us strange feeling on the turn. You know, it's leading with the nose. Some guys like that, but I don't know. We're going to try it one more time because I got a couple of those motors, so I need to put them to use. $500 a piece, so they got to do something. Painting dope on Brodak Tama, necessary to bear white or some other color. I had run into problems with red, especially with the color coat not hiding the uneven. Okay, now there's another thing that I want to pass on to you guys that are new to dope finishes, especially white. Red's probably another color, but if you buy Brodak dope, and I got nothing against Brodak because it is Randolph paint, but they have changed the formula. It has half the solids, half the pigment of what straight Randolph has. So you take that quart of dope, white dope, let me back up. You take a pint of white Brodak dope and mix it 50-50 and make a quart, it will not cover this airplane. It'll take 2 of those. Where this was 1 pint, mix it 50-50 with thinner, and I had some left over. Got it in the car even. So choose your products well. That's what was so nice about Aerogloss. Aerogloss had naphtha and toluene and xylene and methyl ethyl ketone in it. Super hot stuff, but it had lots of solids. It would polish up. Didn't even have to clear that dope. I have pictures here. Let's see here. This is Viper Super Glide. That was Aerogloss dope. This was a beam wing Viper, big one, probably number 2, I think. No, 2, yeah, 2, because 3 is down the list here. No, let's see. White one was 1, this is 2. That's number 4. There's 2 of them sitting there on the bench. There's a picture of my dresser. Oh, I forgot about this one. So this is number 2. Yeah, it's numbered. That's number 2. They were painted similar, but that's number 2. It had a swept forward trailing edge. That one there had a Super Tiger 51 in it. This one here was number 3, or no, number 4, because number 3 still needs to be shown. This has an OSF P40 in it, on a pipe, less nearing pipe. There's an SV11 that I had. That was probably 35 years ago, 30 years ago. Same thing with that airplane. That's another big Continental that I built. That's me and the boys. This is Viper 4. This had a OSVF 46 in it. We're back to that. Here's number 3. This was a that had an OSVF in it too. I built so many damn airplanes I can't hardly keep track of them. I used to build them 2 and 3 at a time. Here's a picture of me about 30 years ago with that airplane framed up. Here's 2 Continentals that I built side by side. There's how the pipe setup worked in that airplane. Another picture of that Super Glide. Here's an SB11 with a different dress on it. Looked like it looked like you know, just a generic airplane. Of course, that was the Art Shaw paint job. There's me in Booter Park. I had the ice cream outfit and everything way back when. It's another picture of that airplane. Here's a picture of bare bones looking at that piped airplane. I used to have 2 of Jimmy Casale's airplanes. These were the Spectrums. Of course, there I am again about 30 years ago. I'm right there. Here's another picture of that airplane in flux. Here's a picture of me and the boys. I'm the short guy in the center. Everybody there's over 7 foot tall. Yeah, you guys don't need to see those. Another picture of my bike. Picture of the boys. There's Viper 1 that started it all. If you look right here, there's a little scoop. That's where the header went transition between side to rear on that airplane, this airplane here. Bob McDonald made me that header. That's about it. So we got 10 likes, 13 viewers, made $20 on the chat revenue. Thank you very much, RC Fred. I'm going to go do laundry. I got to put all the crap in the car and go over there. Be back in a couple of hours, and I guess we'll just pick up where we left off. I don't know that I'm going to sand. I might sand again, 2,000, sand the whole thing till it's flat before I put the trim on it. Then add the trim, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks we can get it in clear. I mean, I don't think it's going to be next weekend. John's got things he's going to do, and I won't be going home until December. I'm going to leave some airplanes at home. I'll probably take the Monado home and hang it on the wall. I got to thin out the herd here. I got too much stuff. But that's what happens when you stay in one place longer than 10 minutes. You watch George Carlin's video on stuff. You get a bigger place, you get more stuff. You move to another place, you fill that up with stuff. So I got lots of stuff here. When I moved in here, I had nothing. And all this is a glorified motel room. It's, let's see. That's 12 foot wide. I got a tape measure. 12 foot wide by 12 by 20 maybe, 12 by 15. So it's no bigger than a motel room. So anyway, I'm going to cut it off, and I'll see you when I return from doing laundry. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.